What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about mistakes Watch Dogs Legion's a must not make. This is going to start off, I've made Watch Dogs Legion videos for actually quite a while now, so if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys are liking this video, subscribing to the channel, because this truly is just the beginning. I'm going to be making many more Watch Dogs videos over the coming weeks leading into the game, and then when the game comes out, I'm going to cover it a ton. We'll live stream it. Going to have a lot of fun. This is, as I've said a couple times, one of, if not my most anticipated game of the fall. So I'm definitely in the Watch Dogs camp. And with that being said, I've talked about some worries I've had of this game. Talked about it actually like years ago. Okay, like a full-on year ago. We've talked about some negative things about this game and also some positives. And for this one, I kind of want to laser focus in on the things that it cannot do. Okay, or that maybe if you want to think about the reverse, what it needs to do to be good. So this game, I'll start with this. Number one, in my opinion, is to not have multiplayer feel like it's tacked on or a last-minute addition. And the only reason I say this, well, look, when I'm recording this, okay, which is just a day before you guys are watching it, I guess the final preview, a lot of sites or a lot of publications got to once again play this game, but I believe they only played the story. I think also the story trailer came out, so a big focus, a big push on the story, on the characters, okay? Which, as I've said, my expectations for are enormously low, and that's not really to diss them. It's just that they haven't really proven to me ever that they can do a good story with good characters, so I just don't even care. I've talked about it before. My main thing with this game is the distinction between each character, making them all unique, making them feel very different, and really buying in to that mechanic that they're trying to sell. That's my main thing for this game, which is very different than the general push of Watch Dogs, which is hacking. Hacking had always been that thing. Another mistake that it cannot make, and this does go with my, again, main draw of the game, is that the characters, again, become repetitive, that the characters are not actually different. So this, in my mind, maybe I should have led with this one, but multiplayer was on my mind first. This, in my mind, is number one. Is the number one, like if I had to make a priority list, if I had to rank these, I would say this is absolutely number one. Again, this is the main draw. Whether or not hacking is a big part of this game, which it is, because everybody can do things a little bit differently. So, obviously, and Watch Dogs is always going to have hacking at its core, but the main push of this game is what? Play as anybody. Everybody's different. You can only, some characters are extremely rare. You're not going to find them more than once. If you lose a character, it actually is a blow to you, right? If you actually lose somebody, that's a big issue. That is, again, that's the main draw, and that to me is the most exciting thing about the game. I'm excited to play through the story, not for the actual story, okay? Not for the villain, not for any of that stuff. I'm excited to play through the story because I want the open world. I want to be able to do the main missions when I feel like it, also do side stuff, but generally, I want to just recruit whoever I want. I want to really test out if everybody's different. That's what I'm going to spend literally as many hours as humanly possible doing day one, week one, month one. Okay, that's just factually what I'm going to be spending the majority of my time in this game doing. And if that doesn't work, if that is broken, if you find kind of like cracks in the armor very early, that is going to be maybe the most when we talk about like the biggest gaming disappointments of the year, I normally focus on like the game that disappointed me the most, not necessarily like a story or whatever. Well, let me tell you, that would be the most disappointing thing this entire year for gaming, in my opinion. If I'm playing this game and I'm so pumped, and within like 5 hours, I've started to notice that the voice acting is the same, or I found characters that can do pretty much exactly the same thing where there's really no difference in them. Now again, I believe in them, that there are like literally millions of possibilities. Like I want to believe in them, or I want to give them, the benefit of the doubt. At the same time, I'm not 1,000% sold that that's possible now, or that they're capable of doing it, or however you want to honestly view that. I'm not 1,000% sold. So, again, am I expecting this eventually to happen? I mean, probably. If I play this game for like 100 hours, if things are repeating on me, I guess like that's fine, because, okay, like I've played it so long, eventually, like, again, I am going to find a crack in the armor. At the same time, technically, if it's the game they describe, I still shouldn't, but whatever. But again, if it's 10 hours in, if I'm on day 2 or 3 of playing this game and I'm already noticing the exact same thing, well, that's an issue. That's a really, you know what I mean? Because I've already found problems. I've already found, I think, fundamental mistakes in this core mechanic that they're trying to do, and that just flat out isn't going to be good. And I'll end it with a number 3. Again, these are kind of all combination things anyway, because I know I go on like rampages with all of these. Is the gameplay? The gameplay can't be repetitive. The gameplay can't be, again, like a tacked on like a lame thing. So this is something that I actually feel like is definitely in their camp. Watch Dogs have always been, I would say, pretty darn solid gameplay games. Everybody's got a different reason for playing video games, okay? And everybody's got a different mentality of what they're willing to stick through. For me, well, let me say this. I am, again, and I've said this in past videos, I'm willing to play pretty much anything, okay? I'm into all genres, all categories of games. I mean, yeah, there are going to be fundamentally some of them that I'm not, like, I can't give 100% effort to everything, but I do generally try to, like, I can be invested in any game of any genre, okay? Like, racing games, though, may be a weakness. Fighting games could be a weakness. Okay, but I try everything. And by extension of that, I'm willing to put up with bad gameplay if there's a good story, and a bad story if there's good gameplay. But again, I know some people will only do one or the other. They maybe won't do both, or maybe they won't do either, right? Where if the story is terrible, it doesn't matter how good the gameplay is, they'll stop. Or if the story is amazing, but the gameplay is just not that good, or it's too repetitive or whatever, they'll also stop, okay? Everybody's got a different thing. I'm probably willing to push through if I'm really invested in the game, or I want to support it, or if I want to play it, like, or for the channel to make videos on it, or whatever. I'm probably going to push through it no matter what, but it's not something I would like to see in Watch Dogs, because here's the biggest thing. Again, as I just said, with the story, I'm not very high on it. I'm not very confident in it at all. I'm more into it with the mechanic of playing as anybody. Well, let me tell you, that mechanic, it actually kind of fits what I just said. So think of that as like the third piece of like a gaming puzzle where, okay, well, if that mechanic is amazing, but again, the gameplay sucks, where I'm not having fun playing as any of these characters. Like, yes, they're all different. Yes, they're all cool. Yes, you know what I mean? Like, they're all actually their own individuals. Like, yes, that's amazing, but the story sucks. Or even if the story is amazing, okay, cool. But the gameplay, I hate playing the game. Hacking isn't fun, or these characters just aren't, good to play with. You know what I mean? Or, maybe the shooting or whatever, the combat, maybe it's bad. That's something that fundamentally, I think, to a game like this, will break it. You know what I mean? Like, again, the core mechanic can be as good as humanly possible, but if I'm not having fun playing the game, I don't care if I can recruit 10 million people. I don't care if all 10 million are completely different. If the gameplay sucks and I don't enjoy playing as any of them, then the game is just flat out not going to work for me, right? So there are issues. There's definitely issues. Now, again, because I know when I make these videos, it's always all doomsday thing, right? Everybody thinks I'm like a pessimistic person, all that kind of stuff. This doesn't keep me up at night. This isn't something that I'm pacing back and forth for. You guys know, again, if you've been watching me for a while, you know how excited I am for this game. I've brought this up numerous times on my most anticipated, one of my most anticipated games of the entire year, okay? I'm pumped for this game. I think this game can be very, very good. I'm excited for it. We'll talk more about that over the coming weeks, right, in coming videos, but I wanted to make this video kind of start it all off. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? What are some things you think this game cannot do, mistakes this game cannot make? If there's any other kinds of videos on Watch Dogs Legion you want me to make as a video, definitely let me know, and I will do that. Again, I got a couple other ideas in my head that I'll make videos on as we get closer, but when the game comes out, again, we'll live stream it. I'll have videos on it. We'll be covering it, all that kind of stuff. Very, very excited for this game. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have the bell icon turned on, and I will see you all on the next video.